Hi there, my name's Angela, and if you weren't already aware, this is Reading Off My Shelf, and as you can see from the title, I want to talk a little bit about autumn and maybe some recommendations, some is possibly for books to read in autumn. Now autumn in the UK, as we all know, is September, October, November, and I think at that time it introduces us to, I wouldn't say a different genres of books, but subjects of books. Now, as personally, I feel I'm more of an autumn person. I like this period of time in the year because we're moving from the hot weather. I'm not particularly, I don't like really hot sunny days. I think a lot to do with the fact that I am a woman of a certain age, and when you're already having hot flushes and things, the heat doesn't help. So I prefer the autumn where we're moving into more cosy jumpers, hence I've got the orange jumper on. We can get the hoodies out. This was one I got out of a book box actually, so it's nice to have, you know, with the autumn colours, and you can snuggle down with a book. And actually I've had a pumpkin latte from a well-known coffee supplier for the first time, because we didn't have that coffee company near us, but we do now, so I've managed to get one of those and quite enjoyed it. So yeah, those sort of things it's able to bring out. And just for an example, I like bringing out the autumnal mugs for my hot drinks. And I probably, again, favourite time of year, I'm not saying seasonal with my mugs, but I do have like my autumn mugs and Christmas themed things. So, you know, again, I've got a bit of a glisten on my eyes, on my glasses there, I must apologise. So yeah, getting the nice autumnal mugs out. I've got a new water bottle. I say new, I've had it a good few months, but again, it's got pictures of pumpkins on and things like that. I'm using it for the first time. It's got my cold drink in, just in case I start coughing with yourselves. So hopefully this will keep my drink nice and cool, but I like the design. I got it, like I say, crumbs, I think, even before the summer, so that I'm managing to get that out, because I do like a hot drink. It also, with myself, I bring out more autumnal bags, etc. I have a nice orangey bag that I use. So yeah, it's what autumn means to me. I love the snuggling down. I love, you know, the more chance of bringing hot chocolates, etc. So that's a little bit about what autumn means to me. Now, some of these books I have read. If you're a regular in my channel, you know I don't keep a lot of my books. I'm just moving the cup out of the way so I don't knock it off. I don't keep a lot of my books, so therefore I have mainly ones that I am excited to read. Will I get these all read in the next few months? We all know that, again, if you're regular, that I won't. But we'll go through some of them. I won't tell you a lot about them. So I think, like I say, autumn is cosy books, and also we have sort of October, so we Halloween, and November. I'm very much November. I like to read maybe, I wasn't say war themed books, because of, you know, the 11th of November and Remembrance Day. So I like to read books themed like that. So I've got a couple. Obviously, again, I feel more September is more like it's still very a general reading theme, isn't it? Where I think once we get into October, it is more that witchy October feeling, autumnal feeling. So where will we start? Well, a couple of the books I've got, because again, this is my interpretation. We all interpret things differently. I've got a couple of books. I've got a Val McDermid, Queen Macbeth, and this is kind of saying that I've not read this one before, but Shakespeare fed us the myth that the Macbeths were murderous. Now Val drags the truth out of the shadows, exposing the prejudice of history and imagining an altogether different narrative. It's just a small book. Maybe that one would be a good one for Shorty September. I've never read her before, but like I say, the subject matter, I'm presuming as well that that's possibly fiction. We have the Lady Macbeth, the Waterstones edition paperback. In fact, I thought that might have said signed as well. And again, presumably this is from the perspective of Lady Macbeth as opposed to Macbeth himself. And it's, the lady knows the stories and her eyes induce madness in men. The lady knew she would be wed to the Scottish brute who does not leave his warrior ways behind when he comes to the marriage bed. So yes, so it's supposed to be, and I think what Victoria read or reads has read this recently and did a review of that. I think she read that in August, I think. Anyhow, then we've got what I would say is sort of your werewolfy, vampire-y kind of books. So Ali Hazelwood, Bride. I've not read her before. I do have a few of her books, but this appealed to me because again we're talking so it says Hazelwood unleashes her sparkling voice and wit on the Romeo and Juliet. So it sounds quite, presumably it says, as I say, we've got the powerful daughter of a vampire, and I'm presuming that there's, yeah, and the werewolves. So I'm looking forward to that. I think that's, you know, this kind of season, werewolves, vampires. A book that I started a couple of years ago and still need to finish, but I've always seems to get quite good reviews. We have The Cemetery Boys by Aidan Thomas. This is the one, isn't it, on where he goes to the graveyard, the spirits face, he unleashes, so it's set in Mexico, I'm sure. He unleashes a ghost in the cemetery. And I want to say, I think it's a YA book. Now, I've heard mixed reviews, but quite often I think a higher proportion of really good ones. I'm just sort of trying to skim read this. So yes, I think it's, he unleashes spirits on, I'm going to say the night of the dead, so Halloween. And yeah, it's what happens, and I presume how to get them back. I have a short book that I think Spread Book for Jack from Spread Book Joy mentioned, or certainly I've seen, I think, in the background on her shelves, The Skull. And this is sort of a picture book again, you know, just a kind of Halloweeny, autumnal, and I presume to be the story of a skull. This is an old story. It's about a girl who runs away, and it's also about a house in the woods, a skull who lives there, and the secret the skull has, and the night that she finds out about it. So yeah, that'll be a nice quick read again, Shorty September possibly. Autumnal is witchy and things like that. I think I've now got 3 of these books, but we've got Hex Appeal by Kate Johnson, you know, what I feel is a nice, not a, I don't like the word easy read, but cosy, probably romance, things about to get text. So she lives in a huge and ever-changing house in the village of Goodwinter, in the darkest of Essex. She lives with witches of various ages, and so we've got one that's been hanged in the 18th century, one who keeps accidentally casting fertility spells on ones, who knits things that create the future. So yeah, so I'm want to try and get back to this, because around to this year, because I do like a nice witchy book. I'm just looking, there must be some romance. We've got some There'll be there's rent that hasn't been paid since the 1700s. I think that'll be a nice little cosy read to sit down to. Rewitched. This is my copy that I got last year when it came out, by Lucy Jane Wood. She's actually got her next one coming out. Is it Unwitched? Uncharmed? I can't recall. I will put it up, Edit It and Angela. I'll put a picture of it's coming out. I'm going to say around about the 20th of September. Could be totally wrong. It's definitely September though. Might even only be the 9th. Anyhow, so this is a story of, what was she called? Because I read it last year. Bella. And when she turns, I'm going to say 18. Was it 18? She has to go and sort of the main coven and prove that she should be able to keep her witchy powers, that she's using them right. There's always sort of obstacles in the way, like every book. It was pleasant enough. I can't recall, did I give it about 3.5, 4 stars? It was a nice enough book. It's sort of a nice autumnal read. You've got this, if I recall, was there some romance in it? It's, you know, she works in a bookshop. It's, yeah, it's about found family. A nice, pleasant read. I kept that one because I actually probably would reread that. Not necessarily, as I say, this year, because I'm waiting. I have pre-ordered the next one. I've seen a lot about this book and hopefully want to try and get to it this year. And we've got Wayward by Amelia Hart. This is the one, isn't it, where we've got we've got Kate in 2019, Violet in 1942, and we've got 1619 with a witch who's on trial for witchcraft, accused of killing the local husband. And then, so what was the one in 1942? Oh, she's interested in collecting insects and climbing trees, then rather than becoming a proper lady. And we've got 2019. Oh, she's moved to Cumbria. I do like. So I think this, from what I gather in there, Wayward is actually. It sounds like it's a cottage. And she's inherited it in 2019. She's inherited it from her great aunt. So it is really probably top of my reading pile for this season. And then the one I'm going to try. I've got the first two. Now I'm going to see. I think these might be self-published. We've got Midwitch by DJ Bowman Smith. Now these are about middle age, which I'm not saying I'm a witch. But, you know, probably the protagonist is more around my age. One woman struggles with midlife and magic. I can imagine trying to struggle with magic in midlife and the menopause at the minute. Lily is facing the fact that her husband is, oh gosh, will not use the word, but it begins with B-A-S-T and well, yeah. And she needs to move on now. Her children have fled the nest. She's lost her job. She's got financial problems. So, the Midwitch trilogy is a funny and poignant take on midlife with a pinch of spice and touch of magic. And I've got book 1 and 2, like I say. I'm pretty sure I got these from Amazon. And I would like to see what that's like. So I have sort of dug that out. Oh, let's have a look at this one. So this pile, I would say, are more your kind of pumpkin-y, autumny vibes. I've had this for a couple of years and keep meaning to read it. Legends and Lattes by Travis Baldry. This is, like I say, you know, isn't... oh gosh, I nearly called her a troll, but she's not a troll, is she? She a demon. Anyway, she's done slaying monsters. She's ready to serve coffee. Love a coffee shop. Love autumn with a coffee shop. think this is an autumnal cover. Right, where was I? I'm sure there's some sort of radar. This is Angela's trying to film upstairs, so somebody come to the door. That was an Amazon delivery with a couple of books. Right, so yes, Legends and Lattes. I also have the second book as well on my shelves. So apparently this is high fantasy, low stakes, good company. I've heard really good things about this. I do think there possibly is a third book out, is it? What's your classed as? Oh, it's baffling me. What is Viv? She an ogre? Okay, oh, I'm not sure. There's a picture at the end, at the front. So yes, I think she opens a coffee shop, or I know she opens a coffee shop in the land where she lives. And like I say, there's a second book to that, which I was going to say is possibly up there. Bookshops and Bone Dust. I don't know if you can see that one there. Then I have a book that I reread every year because it's a quick graphic novel. Oh, it's still got like a bookmark off last year. And that is Rainbow Rowell's Pumpkinheads, a graphic novel. Like I say, I've read this. I've had this for a good few years. Know the story. We've just got, it's two friends, and this is the last year they're going to work in a pumpkin patch. So it says it's their last shift. What if their last shift was an adventure? And I'm pretty sure, if I remember rightly, they're going from stall to stall in this pumpkin. It does actually say there, they say goodbye to every every Halloween, and they reunite September the 1st. So very much an autumnal book. So like yeah. We have one that was sort of, I think it was more of a TikTok sensation, the Pumpkin Spice Cafe, and it's the season to fall in love by Laurie Gilmore. I read this again, I think it was last year. I don't think it was this year. It's a little bit spicy. I think it's because it's a lovely copy. We've got some nice end pages. It's set in so Jeannie's aunt gives her the Pumpkin Spice Cafe in a small town of Dream Harbour. Jeannie jumps at the chance for a fresh start away from her dull desk job. We've got a local farmer. He's obviously the love interest, what we remember rightly. Gossip, and he tries to avoid gossip of all costs. Oh, I think I recall this. And I think somebody trying to sabotage the cafe, if I remember rightly. But yeah, do you know, I think it's another one of those, I was going to say Marmite, some people absolutely loved it, other people, I thought again, it was okay. I quite enjoyed it. It is what it is. It's just a cosy read. Yeah. So I thought it was okay. Loved the copy, probably would reread it. It is, as I say, it's nothing too taxing, it's just a nice read. And the next one is the Cinnamon Bun Store. All it takes is a little bit of sugar and spice. So yeah, but I think this one is set in a bookshop, isn't it? When a secret message turns up in a hidden book in the Cinnamon Bookshop, the Cinnamon Bun Bookstore, Hazel can't understand it as more secret codes appear between the pages. So we'll see. I think Emily from Novell Novels read this and she wasn't that impressed with it, if I remember rightly. I want to say, I think she's read it recently. So we'll see. We'll see. We've got, this time we've got a fisherman. I'm presuming it goes along the lines of the same sort of, there'll be a bit of spice in it. there is then was it the ginger tree farm? I can just look at the bottom of the book for the Christmas. And there's another one. I'm sure there's another one about to come out, and it escapes me. Oh, it's got spice. It's got 4 chilies on the back for the spice, so we'll see. I can't recall if people said this was better than the first or not as good as the first, because as always I'm way behind. I have got Kindling by Bonnie Woods. Sparks will fly without firewood. So this is 1 grumpy Scotch woodman, 1 uprooted city girl, 1 autumn that changes everything. So as I say, I'm an autumn girl. I love autumn, love Scotland, and do keep saying when I retire and life settles a bit, I would love to actually go and live in Scotland. And when we go camping, I hasten to add, not in autumn, we tend to go to Scotland. I do love Scotland. I love the Highlands. I also love sort of the Dumfries and Galloway area, where the coastal area. So I think this is right up my tree. 1 autumnal retreat in the Highlands is a perfect escape for Harper until she's stranded in the forest with nowhere to stay. Or then she's got the local woodcutter reluctantly offers her his lumberjack cabin on 1 condition. So yes, that I think is on my kind of TBR. We're getting there, we are getting there. And then finally, oops, like I say, November time, I always try and read sort of books set in the wartime, so like historical fiction. One of these I have read. One it has been recommended and is supposed to be a really good book, and people love it, but we'll get to that because it's near the bottom of the pile. So we've got Caroline Scott, When I Come Home Again. He needs to remember, he wants to forget. Oh, this is so I've not read this one. One great war soldier with total amnesia, I can't say it. 3 women who claim him as their own. So it says it's a page-turning, mysterious, engrossing and compelling. I thought so many times I had it all figured out. I was wrong every time. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that one. I think that'll be, I say weepy, but yes, but that one's, I presume, looking at the cover as well, that is sort of World War I. Then we've got one, a bit of a time traveller, The Great When by Alan Moore. Now this just says, like Dickens, Alan Moore has us waiting on the dock, impatient for the next instalment. This is the, oh crumbs, there's a bookmark. So it says the year is 1949 and the city is London. Now I'm sure, like we say, I'm sure it's in the amidst the smog of the capital is an 18-year-old employed by second-hand bookshop. Again, catnip bookshop. One day he's on an errand and he discovers a novel that simply does not exist. Dennis has stumbled on a book from the Great When, a magical version of London beyond time and space. So I think that'll be interesting. We'll see what this is and whether he's had a ghostwriter, but we've got Dr. Hilary Jones, Frontline. The Doctor hits the spot and deserves to be read. Oh, that's by Jeffrey Archer. Again, I think this might be set in the First World War. A devastating war, a global pandemic, the love that won't die. A sweeping First World War medical drama, historical epic from the nation's most beloved doctor. I don't know if he's the most. Anyway, Britain and her allies are engaged in a brutal war with Germany. Grace is a daughter of land gentry. Will is the teenage son of a dock worker and doing his best to keep himself out of trouble when their worlds collide in a field hospital in France. An instant connection is forged amidst the chaos and blood of the battlefield. So I think again that'll be another tearjerker. Right, this is the book that everybody raves on and I need to get round to reading it. The Nightingale, and it says a phenomenon that has so enthralled a generation of readers. Isn't this the one? So it's set in World War II and is it two sisters? Yes. Nightingale is the story of two sisters separated by years and experience. Does one live in France? One goes to one is in war-torn France, or are they both in France? So I'm presuming possibly they're both in France. I'm just trying to sort of skim read that. Powerful insight, best-selling author. The Woman's War tells the story of two sisters separated by years and experienced by ideals, passion and circumstances. Each embark on their own dangerous path towards survival, love and freedom in war-torn France. It is a heartbreaking, beautiful novel that celebrates the resistance of the human spirit. Yes, I've heard a lot about it. For some reason, I was thinking, I could be totally wrong. Does one get involved with people in Poland or Germany, or possibly could be a spy? Could have possibly made that up, but I do believe that is a much loved book. I'm sorry this video is so long. And then finally, a recommendation I have, which is one of my favourite books. I read it about 2 years ago. 2 or 3 years ago, I think it was 2. 1919, The Guns Are Silent, The Dead Are Not. Two Stormwood by Philip Gray. I champion this book. I love this book. I got this from Barter Books in Alnwick, and this is on the deserted battlefields of France. We have a fiancée, Amy, looking for one soldier who's lost along the Medis, so she's gone across trying to recover his body or to find him. Ultimately, I think she sets out to look for his body. We've got a captain who's a survivor of the war but is still a prisoner, and he can't return home until he's out on the fields to recover his fallen comrades. And it's how they interact, and there's a few twists and turns in it. Obviously we've got romance because we've got the Amy looking for her fiance, and the various characters in here that as I say, interact. He did not want to talk about Two Stormwood. It was as if the place had found his way inside him, its darkness spreading like a stain, affecting his thoughts and dreams. And it's just saying, it's a thriller. It's I can't even say it. Atmospheric. I love this book. I found this a page turner and I champion this. I read it the same year as I read In Memoriam. Loved that as well, but this of the two was my favourite. And as this happens, this is a signed copy, and like I say, it is a treasured book on my bookshelf, and one I keep, because as I've said before, I'm not a one for keeping books. So I know this has been a long video. I hope it's made sense. I know I haven't particularly gone into a lot about the books, but it's just kind of my take on the theme of autumn and the sort of books that I feel you read in autumn. You know, the ones that you snuggle down, you have your hoodie on, your hot drinks, you have the fire on, the blanket, you cozy on down and you read a nice book, a good book, hopefully, fingers crossed, a good one. There's many a video out there about autumn books, and I do feel I am a bit of a seasonal reader, although sometimes I think I'm not. I kind of must be, because I like to read autumnal books and books, like I say, set in the wars around November time. I obviously like to read Christmassy books. Yeah, anyhow, if you have enjoyed this video, do please give me a thumbs up. If you've got to the end of the video, thank you very much, because, you know, I know it has been a long one of me waffling on, and because it's autumn, we'll go with a pumpkin. We'll go predictable. Let's go for a pumpkin emoji, just to tell me you've got to the end of the video if you can't think of anything to say. And as like I say, I do appreciate you watching this and taking time out of your day, because I waffle on. So if you want to come back for more of this chaos, please do so. You're very much welcome to come in with a nice hot drink and cozy on down. Take care of yourself, and I'll see you again in another video. Thank you again for watching. Bye.